Hello, Namaste. My name is Shikha Jain. At InPot Hub, we acknowledge and celebrate the research work, commendable jobs, and the achievements of scholars. We bring to you inspiring stories which instill hope and passion in research. Our today's story is about a multi talented woman who is a luxury market strategist, researcher, and a consumer behavior expert. This story is about Dr. Sheetal Jain, who is also credited with conducting India's first quantitative study on luxury consumer behavior. Her research work has been published across several international and national referred research journals, books, and other reputed publications. She has been widely covered across print, electronic, and digital media as a thought leader in the luxury domain. She has also introduced luxury marketing programs across leading institutions in India. In addition, she has conducted luxury industry related market research studies, workshops, and training programs across various business schools. She holds a PhD in luxury consumer behavior from Aligarh Muslim University, India, and she has also done an executive program on luxury retail management from ESSEC Business School, Singapore. So let's hear this wonderful and inspiring story from Dr. Sheetal Jain
So
itself.
much for having me here today, Shikha.
It's an honor to have you here. So we wanted to ask you so many questions. You are an entrepreneur, a luxury market strategist, a researcher, and a consumer behavior expert. So what you exactly do and how all these things evolved? Can you please share your experience with us?
Yeah, definitely. It has been a very, very interesting journey, and if I honestly tell you, I never thought of, not even in my wildest dream, that what I'm doing today, I'll be actually doing it. So very honestly, just things kept happening one after the other, and if I go back 20 years from now to start with my journey, actually, I belong to a very conservative Marwari Jain family. So at that particular point of time, 20 years back, two decades back, things were very different. Unlike today, the environment was very different. And so in our families, it was just like that girls would do graduation and they were set for marriage. And there was not much of career orientation that, I have to become something, or that is how I was brought up. So and same happened with me that after graduation, my family was insisting for the marriage. They were started looking for the guy, and but I somehow convinced my parents and family, my grandparents, to that I would, I wanted to do masters, and I convinced them that okay, I'll do masters, and as soon as they get a guy for me, I'll just drop it in between. So I was ready to do that, and with that condition, they allowed me to do it, and then I, by the grace of God, as soon as I completed my masters, I just got married. So fortunately, I could complete my masters, and
Mhm.
after which I got married, and my husband was having his own consultancy firm.
Okay.
So I could join that. I could join him, work with him, and I was always good in academia. And so while all those years, I started thinking of further studying and thought of doing PhD. So when I started with the thought that I should do PhD, the first thing came in my mind was fashion, because I had great passion for the fashion sector. And at one point of time, when I was very young, I wanted to actually become fashion designer.
Oh,
So I thought, why not, because I was doing consulting, and I was, I had a lot of global clients and all when I was working with my husband. So I thought this was a lucrative area. And then when I researched on it, I found luxury, and not much of work particularly was done in luxury fashion domain in India. And it was my first PhD in this area in India.
oh, okay.
So that was the first study at all. Yeah, so this is how it happened. And when I was doing deep dive and doing my research on luxury, I was just fascinated by it. And the more I read, the more I got in love with it. And then I started to venturing into my own startup by the name of Lux Analytics. So that's how
Wow.
I started with it. And the entire thing, it just kept evolving by the grace of God.
So, Sheetal, you also have introduced luxury marketing programs across various institutions in India, and you have been conducting workshops and seminars about it. So, how do you bring your experience into the classroom?
So it's a very interesting question because uh, when you are actually doing your workshops and training sessions, so you have that industry connect. So in classroom, it helps me to bring that the real life stories, anecdotes, analogies, which
Mhm.
actually enriches the classroom and gives a holistic kind of experience to my students. So
Mhm.
it actually, it tries to increase the just rather than having that theoretical knowledge, it complements with that kind of what's happening in the industry, what are the major problems in the industry, and then we discuss it in the classroom, and all those things I think give a holistic kind of understanding to my students.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So, have you also written cases and published those on these topics?
Yeah, so I have written few case studies
Mhm.
and on luxury domain also.
Mhm.
And I truly believe that case teaching method is really a very good way of teaching in class, because through real life scenarios, students are able to relate with the concepts much more.
Yes.
So that's now pedagogy of taking my courses. So my
Mhm.
entire courses are based upon case studies. It's all case driven. And with each case study, then after discussing the case, we discuss the theoretical aspects. And that's
Okay.
how we club the two. So that I think makes my classes really interesting.
Sheetal, you have also recently published your fourth A category journal in a row in this year. So it's absolutely amazing. So how do you manage these things and what is your mantra behind this?
So simply speaking, while writing papers, I believe the most important thing is to find the right kind of gap, to find that how you can contribute to the academia as well as industry by your work. So
Mhm.
for that, I believe, since I'm having my consultancy and advisory training, all the things in luxury, I
Mhm.
do a lot of research work here. So I actually come to know what are the gaps and where we can work upon.
Mhm.
So which I think helps me to build upon on my research papers and contribute to the body of knowledge, as well as to the how marketers can work, the strategies and implications on the marketers, all those things. So that is what I believe have made my papers like I could get acceptance of my papers in these
Mhm.
particular A category journals.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that writing in these particular journals, and because it might sometimes take a lot of time. Sometimes my papers, for some of my papers, it has taken almost 1.5 to 2 years to get it published with several round of revisions. So I think that makes you even a calmer person, and a lot of patience comes into you, and I guess a better human being you become through when you go through the entire process of actually this entire thing. So
Shita, can you tell us more about your papers? Like, what are these about, and what is your methodology? Are these, theory based or phenomena based? More on your papers.
yeah, so my research have been mainly in luxury domain, and I started as my it was my PhD thesis topic only, that what motivates Indian consumers to buy these very expensive luxury products. And when I started researching it, so hardly any work, empirical work, was done in India on this particular topic. So initially, I had done few conceptual studies, research papers on what factors affect luxury consumers to purchase such expensive products in India. What are the key reasons why they go for it? And then I did few papers on the millennial consumer behavior, because millennials
Okay.
are the future rulers of luxury market. So are there the same reasons for the young consumers to buy luxury products, or are there different reasons? And
Mhm.
then recently I've been doing a lot of my work is around luxury and sustainability area,
Oh.
Then recent work I have done in luxury and sharing economy, which means that why today people are rather than buying luxury goods, they are going for renting these goods. So more
Hmm.
and more consumers, particularly the younger ones, are wanting to have experiences over acquisitions. So what are the reasons for it? So that is what I did. And then one of the studies I did on circular economy, that how we can transform the entire a fashion value chain from linear economy of take, make, use, and dispose to a closed loop circular economy. So, wherein we created a lot of models which could help and guide the fashion industries to basically how they should work upon. So, these have been a couple of how I evolved and some of my work in this area, the recent work in my.
Sounds really interesting. So, Shita, you're also a blogger. So, how your passion for writing has evolved you into, a successful publisher and writer?
I think because being a blogger is something different from writing a research paper. It's a
Absolutely.
completely different platform and completely different approach. But
Hmm.
as I read a lot, and luxury is my passion. It's as a subject, I really love it, and I mean, almost every day I really read too much of it. So, I write papers, and then with my experience in the industry, I put that in my blogs, and I think that helps me to be current and to also pick up contemporary topics for my research papers also, which are not just relevant in today's present scenario, but
Hmm.
also for the future. So I
Okay.
think that kind of also helps me. Blogging helps me in getting some good topics for my research paper as well.
Okay. So, how do you decide on these topics? By reading more or by observing around you?
See, there are two things. One, as I told you, I'm an avid reader, and I truly believe that today the reader, tomorrow the leader. If you really want to do something, if you really want to achieve something in your life, you should read, read, and read. There's no other shortcut to it. So I read a lot, and then of course, since I'm doing a lot of trainings and workshops and advisory in this particular area, so all this gives me a kind of a holistic knowledge, which helps me to, I think, even write research writing and article writing and all those things.
Okay. And Sheetal, what motivates you to do so many things? I mean, you handle your business also, you do your research and take these sessions. So, how do you manage and what keeps you going every day?
If I'll be very honest, I love when people appreciate me. I love when people talk about my work, my colleagues, friends, students, and all this gives me a lot of energy, to pump me, to charge me for next assignments, next work. And, with all this work, of course, I get more work, more
Hmm.
recognition, more speaking opportunities.
Hmm.
So, and all this has a kind of a effect that runs energy in you, and therefore I think I'm always motivated to do more and more.
So, but you must have been feeling pressures of these rejections, and you talked about patience. So, what is that mantra? How to deal with that?
See, if I'm being very honest, one thing which PhD taught me when I was doing that journey of doing my PhD is patience and perseverance. You have to be really, really patient. That anything and everything takes time. Sometimes it has happened at least 2 years for one paper that has been rejected many times, that have gone several rounds of revision. But that gives you, that as a human being also, I think I'm a better person now, more improved, more mature person. Rome was not built in a day, so everything takes a little time. And
Hmm.
of course, hard work is one thing which I think nothing can be a substitute to it, or I cannot say that smart work can kind of be a
Hmm.
substitute to hard work. No, I don't think that. So yeah, I've been working really hard for so many years now, and that I think is now kind
Now
of
paying you,
giving
yeah.
results and paying me back. So yeah, I think all these things together uh, gives me a great learning experience every day. I think every day is a new day for me. I grow every day with doing all these things together.
Nice. So, Sheetal, one last question. Now, how do you want to take it ahead? I mean, what is your future plan now?
Frankly speaking, I really am working towards making my luxury company to be a truly kind of a global company, and I believe I should do some work which should really contribute to both industry as well as academia. So I want to continue doing this research, the work which I'm doing in such a way that I can spread more knowledge and disseminate more knowledge. And for doing this only, rather 1 month ago, I had started with a new initiative of my video magazine called Lux Communique, in which every week, whatever is the fresh news, latest news on in luxury domain across sectors, I cover the almost top 8 to 10 news in that video, which I release every Monday, every week. So,
Oh,
and that video magazine is just for some 60 seconds to 90 seconds. So all those, the connoisseurs of luxury, or those who really want to do something in this area, or those who just are luxury enthusiasts, for them it's a capsule of knowledge that what has happened across the globe in luxury domain. They could just know it in just 1 minute. What happened across in 1 week. So this is what I'm doing. I just recently started with this, and I'm getting really good feedback. And my agenda is just to spread knowledge, to disseminate knowledge by various forms, whichever I can do.
thank you so much, Sheetal. It was absolutely our pleasure to talk to you, and we are really honored that you came on our show. Thanks a lot.